Hey guys, welcome back to Good News Jamaica. You know that we go around and we find extraordinary Jamaicans to talk to and we pick their brains. But this time we have a special interview to do today, or reasoning we need to do today. I am here with Dr. Natalie Sharpe from the Blood Bank.
Correct, the National Blood Transfusion Service.
The National Blood Transfusion Service. And we want to learn about giving blood, donating blood. And we're going to talk about some current issues that's happening in Jamaica. And so we're just going to talk. Doc, thank you so much for sitting with Good News Jamaica.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. So I noticed you guys opened a new facility, a blood collection center in Spanish Town.
Yes, we did.
Right?
Yes.
That it is state of the art. What is it?
Well, it is a space that we have repurposed for in order to collect blood down there, because we realize the importance of being able to collect blood in St. Catherine, because right now there's nowhere for people to go in St. Catherine to donate blood.
Okay.
And so myself and the MOH Ministry of Health and Wellness team and the team at Spanish Town decided that it was very important for us to get the ball rolling for people being able to donate blood down there. And so we found a space that we repurposed for people to do just that, to come there and donate.
Okay.
Yes.
With this new blood collection center, is it any different than the rest? I mean, how many across the island do we have now?
So the one at Spanish Town Hospital will make number 12.
Number 12?
Yes.
Okay. And is it any different? Is the procedure any different there than anywhere else?
The procedure is no different. What makes our centers different is just depending on the space that's available. So for example, here is one of the larger ones because we are building dedicated to blood collection and testing. But for example, at some of the other hospitals, the facilities are significantly smaller, but we try to maintain them, in a standard that we can continue to collect blood from patients. But they may not be as large or as, purpose driven, but it is something that we are able to do there in those hospitals.
Okay.
So, yes.
With now that you've opened this new center, I take it that you're taking on new is it phlebotomists? How does it go?
Yes. To staff our centers, we usually have somebody who's trained in phlebotomy. That could either be laboratory technologist, a nurse, or physician, and the staff is combined of some group of those, some combination of that group of people.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, if you're bringing on new people, do they go through a certain training? Everyone goes through certain
absolutely.
training?
So to take Spanish Town Hospital's new center, for example, the team that's going to staff there will have to come here to the blood bank here at Sly Penny Road for 4 weeks of training prior to being fully on their own there at Spanish Town.
So that by the time they get to Spanish Town or wherever they go, they know not only how to, but how to administer and how to do all the background work and all those things.
Exactly, yes.
Interesting, that's cool. There is a voice note going around.
Yes.
We had to touch on
that,
right?
Yes.
So there's a voice note going around that people who are vaccinated are not allowed to give blood.
Right.
Tell me about that.
Well, that is completely false. People who have received the COVID vaccine, any number of doses, can give blood. There is no deferral period. There's no waiting period after you've had the vaccine that you have to wait to give blood. Once you are feeling well, post-vaccine, you can come in and donate.
So I want you to say that again.
Yes.
People who are vaccinated.
Yes.
Are not excluded from giving blood.
Absolutely not. People who are vaccinated against the COVID vaccine are not excluded from giving blood.
Okay.
What I want to say is that there are some vaccines worldwide that you may have a waiting period after, but COVID is not one of those.
No? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So so the center in Trelawney, the center in wherever they are.
Right.
You all fall under the same policies and procedures.
Absolutely, yes.
And even from the administrative stuff, the reception, everybody's trained to know who can give, who cannot give, this, that, and the other.
Correct.
Let's talk about who cannot give blood.
Okay. All right. Well, starting with the easy part of that, if you are 15 and under, you can't give blood.
Okay.
You can at 16 with parental permission, but officially it's over 17 can give blood. If you're over 60 and have never given blood before, you can't give. All right, so those are the ends of the spectrum. When somebody comes in, we do a comprehensive interview to find out about their health history, their any medical conditions, anything that might make them ineligible to give blood. So, for example, anybody who has who's unwell. I mean, first of all, if you're not feeling well, we wouldn't encourage you to give blood just because, we don't want you to have any problems after you've given a unit of blood. So if you're not feeling well, if you're sick for any particular reason, we would ask you to, see a doctor or get your problem sorted before you give blood. Anybody who has a history of any kind of blood disorder, like, sickle cell disease, of course, because we would not want you to precipitate any kind of problem, that person would not be eligible to give blood either. We ask that people have eaten within 4 hours of coming to give blood, and that they're well hydrated. We also ask that people refrain from alcohol use in the 24 hours before giving blood. So those are the kind of questions that we ask that would prevent somebody from giving blood. Also, if you've had other more specific things, or if you've had any tattoos within the last year, if you've had any certain vaccines, for example, what we call live virus vaccines, the ones that actually contain a live virus, unlike the COVID vaccine, so something like MMR, right? If you've had that within the last 3 months, you would not be able to donate blood. People who are at high risk for certain diseases, we would also, in our questioning and our interview process, we would probably not allow you to give blood.
Now, what I've heard from a lot of, especially females.
Yes.
I'm anemic.
Correct.
I can't give blood.
Yes.
Tell me, is that accurate?
Yes. So if your hemoglobin is too low, which is what we mean by anemic, or hemoglobin, blood count, that kind of thing. If it's too low, you can't give blood just because you wouldn't have the capacity to moderate after the blood is given, right? So that does happen a lot, especially in our young women who are of reproductive age. They do tend to become anemic. But I would say that what we do is what we try to encourage people is, if you've come in and our machines have detected that you are anemic, we do encourage you to go and visit your physician to kind of figure out how that problem can be fixed.
Okay.
Because I don't want people to walk away and say I'm anemic, and then the problem is not being addressed. Because
can someone who has been diagnosed as anemic, can they eventually give blood?
Absolutely, yes.
What is it?
Yes, absolutely. If you've been to your physician and the reason for your anemia has been figured out, for example, for most people, it's usually because of iron deficiency anemia. If you started on your iron tablets and your blood count comes back up to normal levels, yes, happily you can come and give blood. So
it's not a one shot.
It's not a one shot thing.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay. Now you see that, people. You see that? If we didn't talk to Doc, we wouldn't know. We'd be stuck in these things, these rumors. What other information would you like people to know? How often should they give blood? I know that there's a dire need for blood. When individuals say, okay, my uncle is in the hospital, and I need to give blood, is it really that my blood that I'm giving is going to go to my uncle, or is it that it just goes into a bank and...
Right. So you've asked two very important questions there, so I'm going to address them both. So when you come and give blood for somebody like your uncle, that's what we call replacement blood donation. So you're a replacement donor, right? And so your blood specifically is not going to go to your uncle because you may not have the same blood type, etc. However, your blood does go into the pool, and builds up the stores of the blood bank. And so that means that, your uncle has had somebody donate on his behalf. And so if it is that, comes to the point where he needs blood at a same emergency level as somebody else with the same level of urgency, because one person has had donors come in to kind of supplement the pool, that person would be given a slight bit of priority over the other. Right? So
in other words, when we give blood for someone, we're giving them an extra chance to receive it when they need it.
That's the perfect way to put it, yes.
Excellent.
Yes. And then the other part of your question is, how often can people give blood? So what supports blood banks and blood donation worldwide is what we call voluntary donors. And these are people who come in not because they have a relative or a friend in hospital and needs blood, but you're just coming in to give blood. These are voluntary donors. And worldwide, these are people that form the backbone of blood donation or blood services. And when you come in, you can come in and donate blood, and then you can come back 3 months later. And yeah, we have people who do that. They set reminders on their phone. We send out emails to you after you've given blood to remind you, yes, come back now, it's time.
You can give blood every 3 months?
Every 3 months you can give blood, yes.
In other countries, there are, when they do blood drives, sometimes they pay people to come in. Does Jamaica do anything like that?
No, so what is advocated worldwide is voluntary unpaid blood donation.
Okay.
And that is really what we practice in Jamaica.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Is there anything else that you would like the public to know about the blood bank?
I think that people have this perception of blood bank and giving blood to be a scary process, and it's really not. It's quite quick. Our staff here are very well trained, and so most of the time people will say, I didn't even feel the needle, I didn't even realize what was happening, because our staff is so good at what they do, right? And it's nothing to be scared about. You can come in, you can give blood. One bag of blood can save 3 lives, is what we say.
Oh wow!
Yes,
okay.
Because you can get 3 different things from each bag. You can get your red cells, which is what makes the blood red. That's what is our blood count. You can get platelets, which is what makes the blood clot. And then you can get what we call plasma, which is kind of what all of those things are suspended in, right? And so for each bag of blood, we will separate out these 3 components. So you could have somebody at KPH who needs the red cells. You could have somebody at National Chest who needs the plasma, and then you can have a child at Bustamante who needs the platelets.
Wow.
So every bag of blood that you come and donate can save three people's lives.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. That's a big responsibility, guys, and you should definitely. As a matter of fact, I am going to give blood today, and it will be a part of this. You'll see it there somehow. I'm going to be on this thing. If I faint, don't laugh. but. Because me not really like needle, but it's so it go. It's fine. I'm here now, and it's the right thing to do, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Thank you so much for sitting with me.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming. I'm very happy to have you here.
Excellent, and we'll be back more when you're doing some more stuff.
Okay.
Reach out to Good News Jamaica, and we'll cover it.
Absolutely, yes.
All right. COVID thing, right?
Yes,
all right. Until such time, guys, remember, make somebody's heart smile.
Thank you for checking us out on Good News Jamaica TV for content that informs, inspires, and transforms. Please like, share, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more positive Jamaica content. Walk good.